What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video, another day, another dollar, and we're breaking down our ES futures contract per usual. Left you guys off with basically saying that the market was up to balance, and then if we continue to push up higher, taking out daily highs, the daily would continue to one time frame up. Well, today was a very choppy session early on. I got hurt on two different occasions, both on shorts. One that really just kind of ticks me off, quite literally tick, if you know what I mean, which was a short late in the, not necessarily late, but right around noon, 11:30. I was short and got literally stopped out to the fucking tick. It irritates me so much to know that I got stopped out to the tick only for the market to do what I thought would happen initially, which was come back to the point of control down at around 20.50, and I would have gotten my profit hit instead of my stop loss. I should have, I guess, widened my stop. I don't know. But no, I'm happy I stuck with it, and I'll explain that here in just a minute. But very impressive day for the buyers overall. We attempted to push lower. We opened up in value, in range, and with that, you have to respect a couple of rules, right? So you need to know what an inside day up or down could be, right? So we open up with an inside day possibility. So with an inside day, you look to come out and have some continuation or monitor it for lack of continuation. Or today we had clear continuation late in the day, which was pretty much signified by this large set of single prints that started in L period. Excuse me, the second to the last time frame of the day. So we had L period just pop right on up, M period closing at the high. So we go out with a double distribution day to the upside. So very positive for the buyers. All right. Just overall, very impressive day for them, even though it was looking kind of grim early on. A lot of chop back and forth between the open. But I guess a couple nuances were we had initially lowered point of control to 49.16, and then it got moved up to 49.19.50, and then it got moved up to 49.20.50, just kind of showing the strength of the buyers. And where I was involved today was initially on the short on this push up here. I was getting short against C period high because we had taken out the initial balance low, but earlier in the morning we had taken out the initial balance, or not the initial balance, but the overnight high. So a little bit of mixed market generated information, and we were inside of the previous day's range. So just knowing that if we did that, opening up inside would produce a whole lot of chop. Well, we got that, and I got stopped out, right? As we pushed up, I got short. Literally, I think it was 18.50, which was right around the open. Against, and it pulled back. I could have taken off a little bit of profit, but I was more or less looking for it to come down to this poor low that we had down here, which was at 12.75. If you look here, we have two lows at the exact same price for two different time frames, C period and D period. So what I was expecting, or what I was looking for, was kind of going back and testing to see if we would push through that. Because we had gotten the initial balance low and we were one time framing down, I was like, okay, odds favor potentially rotating lower and getting or testing that 12.75. So that's where I was looking. Excuse me. That's where I was targeting initially on the short that I had right around the open. Well, clearly was wrong. I got stopped out and took that for a loss. Now in the next time frame, I decided to get short again against this high here at 26, at 49.26. Okay. So once we pushed up, I wasn't expecting the market to go trend. We didn't go trend down here. And overall this year, just trend days have not held too frequently. They've held more on the buy side than they have on the short side. But nonetheless, the odds don't really favor right now trend days holding, even though we held one today. So when we pushed up, I got short around 24, added to around 25, and then I had my stop at 27.50. Okay, so it kind of consolidated, chopped around in between basically 22 and 25 for quite some time, just chopped around. And point of control at the time was at 2050. Okay, so in the next time frame, if it had opened up and pulled back, that was my target. I was looking for point of control to continue to widen around that point, around that area. So at the time, in this time frame, I was short 24, 25s, and we popped up, stopped me out at 2750, and then it came in pretty aggressively down to 2050, and that's what irks my nerves right there. It just gets underneath my skin. But I respected my stop nonetheless. Got stopped out, and not for, I guess not for a bad thing, because clearly we continue to move higher. Had I had my stop at the previous day's high up here, I would have been stopped out for a much larger loss than just $250 on the day. So lost 250. It is what it is. It is what it is. You can't really. Whenever we have chop like this, it's very difficult to read. It clearly was a reversal bar, and then we kind of just chopped inside of that range between 1975 and 2750. So you had A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay. Afternoon pullback potential. Held the open. Good buying opportunity, I guess. But if the way the market was trading, you were kind of looking for a more rotational day. So you're looking for us to come up and then rotate back down here, and then you rotate back up, just continue to chop. Well, we didn't get that at all, as we had that afternoon pullback low at 1975, where we held and then boom, popped up pretty aggressively, creating a set of single prints in this time frame, and then a set of single prints in this time frame, which led to us closing at the all-time high at 49.56. So double distribution day up, very positive. Let's go ahead and mark these destinations. But that was my trading day in a nutshell, to say the least. Kind of irritating, but with the way the market was acting, I really wasn't expecting the move that we had to the upside. Definitely not looking for it to go trend like we did. But nonetheless, I didn't get hurt too bad. So thankful I did have my stop in, even though we did pull back in the trade. The idea that I had was correct. Maybe had I been a little bit more patient, I would have waited until the next time frame to see if we did pop that high, and maybe fade the extreme more or less than the edge, because where I was shorting was not necessarily the extreme, it was more or less the edge. So I guess I could have been more patient on that, seeing how we reacted up here near the high 2650, and then taking the short, and then maybe had my stop 2 points higher than that. And obviously that trade would have worked out for about 6 points. So I guess that's how I could have traded that differently. And then seeing that poor low here. So we had a poor low here at 1275, afternoon pullback low, poor low at 1975. So what I mean by poor low is there's it's basically a double bottom is how people see that in the market. They see a double bottom. So essentially that's what that is a double bottom right there at 1975. Sorry, I was checking my burn. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I burnt myself. So I keep rubbing it. It's kind of irritating. But yeah, that afternoon pullback low was a poor low as well. So just participation may not be huge in the sense of volume, but nonetheless, these short-term buyers are controlling this market and continuing to provide a bid which is relentless and pushing higher. We do have some economic data, and I think I'll pull that up here for us here in a minute. We do have economic data this week. We do have to keep that in mind. So if we were to get any type of volatility and this market doesn't like what it sees or what it hears, these single prints will be targets on the downside to fill. So just keep that in mind. So single prints, they fill at 2750. They start at 2850. And just to show you how strong these buyers were, just wait till I show you the next time frame real quick. I want to show you something pretty interesting about this next time frame. All right, so you see how this time frame closed at 49.30.25. Look at where L period opened. K closed at 30.25. L period open at 30.50. Never pulled back. Didn't even pull back. There was absolutely no pullback. And then boom, just exploded to the upside. I mean, the range alone in that 25 points, that's I think pretty much the whole day's range initially. Let's see. Yeah, it's just in the initial range, not even holy shit. This is interesting. All right, so the before we set that before we exploded out, right? Before we created that next set of single prints, before we exploded, we had only traded 19 points up from the low to that high right there at 32.50. Only 19 points. And then the range of L period alone was 25. It's just freaking this market just is it's nuts, man. It's absolutely nuts. It just blows my I'm fascinated by it. You guys might not be, but I'm fascinated. But we're going to continue to improve, continue to try to do better at executing these trades. Single prints fill here at 32.50, and it is a rather large set. So like I said, if there's any type of volatility, and this market doesn't like what it hears when it comes to the economic data and then earnings that we have this week, we could play in between 45.25 and 32.50, which is a large playground considering our initial range today was roughly 19 points. So keep that in mind. 29, 24, that's where they start. And then we have, get rid of this. So the daily continues to push higher. One time framing up just continues. It's relentless. And then we have today's high up here at 56, all-time high. So buyers looking to close out very strong for the month. So double distribution day. Okay. Lower distribution from 27.50. Okay. 27.50 to 12.75. That is the lower distribution. Buyers want to stay out of that. Okay. To prove that they are strong, they want to open up in the upper distribution, which is up here between 56 and 45.25. Okay. They open up here. They can continue and they hold the set of single prints. They open here, hold the set of single prints. They will continue to make new highs because probability favors that, right? As we are one time framing up on the weekly, the daily, the monthly, all three time frames are just continuing to one time frame up. So negative would be for the buyers opening up down here. Positive would be opening up here in the upper distribution. If not, then we could see a whole lot of chop in between where we exploded out at 32.50 and 45.25. Now let's go ahead and look at the larger time frames real quick. Let's go ahead and look at how we're going to potentially be closing out the month. Monthly, one time framing up 2 months in a row, right? We stopped the one time framing down on this month, broke out of balance, maybe been one time framing up 2 months in a row. Really good extension, pushing towards my target of 52.60 on the upside, okay? So one time framing up on the monthly, looking to close near the highs on the monthly. Very, very strong. Weekly, one time framing up 3 weeks in a row after having some consolidation for just a brief period between that 39.75, 48.39.75, and 47.19.75. Had some consolidation there, broke out 3 weeks in a row of one time framing up. So very, very positive for the buyers. We want to look to continue to have that, have increasing volume and good extension above the previous week's high. Okay, so we need to get away from 34.25. Pretty good in order for this weekly to continue to look extremely healthy. If not, then the trend may be looking to weaken a little bit. So buyers definitely want to continue to extend the range to the upside. And lastly, the daily. I had said it was up to balance because of the tight consolidation that we had. between that 34.25 and 48.89 level. So we were up to balance, but nonetheless, we continued a one time frame up because technically we had not taken out a previous day's low in, well, hell, when was the last, this right here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 days in a row now. 8 days. We have not taken out a single previous day's low. The last time we did was here on this gap down, and then pushed up here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days in a row of continuous one time framing up, even though we went up to balance here. So very positive for the buyers, looking to continue that volume. Obviously light. We'd like to see more participation than what we're getting, but short-term traders continue to control this market in all three of these time frames. So let's see what the week brings, shall we? And then lastly, I think I want to just real quick, let's see what the economic calendar looks like for us. All right, so the economic calendar we are looking at. Tomorrow we have job openings, consumer confidence. Wednesday we have ADP, PMI, and FOMC on Wednesday. So big volatility coming up. It's going to be tough. Tough. And then Thursday we have ISM, manufacturing. We have consumer sentiment on Friday, non-farm payrolls. So very volatile week, to say the least, with that FOMC coming in on Wednesday. So wear your hard hats, ladies and gentlemen. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.